psychologist, and a school counselor to be able to service all of our students. You know, maybe not at the depth that we would like, but again, we are a public school. So we're, from where we were to where we are now, I think we're doing tremendous things to support our students' total well-being. So we're very happy to have Julia on board a couple of days a week. And then also a new member to our staff this year, Miss Amanda Schlitt. She is our part-time school psychologist, excuse me. I got your title right? Yeah. So between the three of these lovely ladies, we have support every day of the week for your students, and that is truly something that I'm grateful for. That I hope that all of you recognize and also are grateful for, because it is so important. So I think, you know, without any further ado, if all of you would like to be excused to your rooms, I'll finish up, and then I'll excuse all the parents, and they can go to your rooms.
Good question. So this is full-time and this is part-time in a sense?
Yeah, they just divided on their own. I don't know. Yeah.
So where's the integration?
Yeah.
Can I sit?
Just kidding. Can you sit with him for Mr. Craig? Again, I want to thank everybody for coming again tonight. It really is important. And on top of it, we started off with a bit of our first homeroom competition. So we went on a whole different program this year. Last year we had a nutrition break in the middle of the day, and our students, through feedback to me, actually said, we don't like the nutrition break. What can we do? Can we do without? Well, they wanted to just get out earlier. That wasn't happening. So what we did is we developed this idea about a homeroom. And it gives an opportunity for every teacher to really make sure we're connecting and make sure we're mentoring. That is the idea, that's the goal behind the homeroom. Many of your students, whether they tell you or not, they're working on weekly goals. We hope we're working on short-term and long-term goals in our classrooms every single day. And those teachers are checking back with them every single day. We're going to do other things like resume building, interview building, team building, all of these things that we're able to do at this school site because we have the flexibility. So where I'm starting was the homeroom with the most parent participation tonight, and thank you for signing in. If you haven't, please do so. The homeroom with the most parent participation is getting a pizza party next week. So that's pretty cool for them. We have some, you know, we had a whole campaign, and it was a good thing, and I hope that we continue to build on this homeroom idea. We're a non-traditional school. Of course, we exist primarily to help students credit recovery. Students come by credit recovery or become credit deficient for a variety of reasons. And so whatever the stigma that may be attached in our community or in any community where you're talking about a continuation school is something we challenge. It is something I personally am taking on to change the perception. And I work very hard, and I know the staff supports me, and we work together to start with the kids. And that's why it's really important to have you connected with us, because they see it matters to you. And if school matters to you and coming here matters to you, then it just only gains us momentum. And we're all on the same team. All of our kids graduate. We're a 98, 99% graduation rate. And that's also unheard of for continuation school. The name continuation school is really the only thing that we have in common with any other continuation school in this country, in this state. We're not a typical continuation school, and we're all very lucky to be here. This place is a beacon on this hill in many ways, because without it, many of our kids would just be falling off, slipping through the cracks, you know, whatever you want, whatever, you know, analogy you want to use, that would be happening. And so it's really important that we try to use the most positive language about Rancho Del Mar, and we're out in the community. I challenge all of you to not duck the next time somebody asks you where your kids go to high school. And be proud of it, because that's what we're trying to do here. We challenge kids every single day with the highest expectations. We already know we're working backwards forward. We know they're going to get a high school diploma. So what can we do? What can we do with these students that Peninsula and PV, that we can compete with Penn and PV? Because we can't line their transcripts up with a million AP courses and honors courses. We can't do that. But what we can do is focus on community. We can focus on being respectful. We can focus on being self-directed, collaborative learners. If you look at any kind of new educational theory, guidelines, whatever it may be, this idea about what a student should know or look like after they graduate high school now is not the traditional 4 C's, which used to stand for, off the top of my head, is like critical thinking, college, and career, and there's one other C. It's not that anymore. They're adding now, some people are adding now, this idea of calling it a life learner. So what does a life learner need? They need characteristics like collaboration and project management. We don't need classes to do that. We just need good people and good adults that care and give students the opportunity to really enhance and improve those skills. Because those characteristics will help them in any job. Any job. We really promote the heck out of SCROC, and I hope all of you are familiar with what SCROC is. If you're not, talk to your kids about it. SoCal Rock is a great community partnership, and they offer free career and tech training for your kids. Free. Adults go thousands of dollars per class there. And our kids get that opportunity for free. And even if you don't think it's what my son or daughter wants to do or is going to do, I encourage you to at least expose them to it. Because if you look at another thing, another trend with millennials, they have a million jobs. Like I've had 4 jobs in my life. I'm sure that like many of these kids have already had 2 or 3 jobs, So that's a difference. What's wrong with them graduating high school and, I don't know, being a welder, being whatever. And then when they turn 21, 22, it's not too late. Remember the video, it's not too late. It's not too late to go back to college at that point if they want to. More mature and more ready. Because it really does depend on that as well. So with respectfulness, with community mindedness, these are all things that I think help with maturity in turn. We have a Principals Advisory Committee, which is a leadership program here that I hold, and I have many of your sons and daughters in that. We're singularly focused on community projects, community outreach, and volunteerism. So you'll see some permission slips, coming home for different opportunities that I want to have the kids go to. Many of your kids already went to a coastal cleanup we had a couple of weeks ago. And if all of this that I'm talking about doesn't ring a bell, then I want to bring up, I want to bring up our website first. Lots of information there. And this is what our email, no, that's not what our email. This is the constant contact email that I send out once a month. And I encourage you, if you haven't received it yet, you don't know what I'm talking about, or maybe it's still in your inbox, open it up, take a look, read it about the cool things that we're doing. I'll give you a sneak preview. This is top secret stuff. It's not out yet. But, so I work really hard on it, and I'm kind of guilting you to look at it then, but it takes me about a month to put it together. So I work hard on it, and it's something that I think is a really important way for, once again, for us to communicate with you and you to know what's going on. And then one other thing I just wanted to brag about real quick, because I was Googling Rancho Del Mar. And look at this. That is a 2017 Rancho Del Mar graduate playing soccer at Cal State Northridge. So I didn't plan this at all, but that is super cool. Miss Gill, you didn't even know that either. Super cool. So that is important, And please make sure if you don't have an email address with us that we do. I think at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Gill to talk a little bit more about wellness. And we're gonna introduce one more of our fabulous staff here as well. I see if she just walked in. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. First of all, I just want to talk about the counseling program and the purpose of the counseling program. It's obviously to fully support our students and primarily academically, but in fulfilling graduation requirements, reviewing transcripts, program selection, course planning, etc., college career planning. And in order to achieve academically, the other piece to it is that students need to utilize, basic skills, very basic skills that they're gonna need in life, like goal setting, communicating, problem solving, conflict resolution, stress management, things like that. Some of our students, and some students everywhere, struggle with some personal, social, emotional issues. And these issues can lead to other issues that can be a little bit more detrimental, such as attendance and truancy problems, substance abuse, peer conflicts, family issues, coping skills, suicidal ideation, things like that. But our goal here in the counseling department is to provide students with support and access to counseling resources and guidance when they have to face these issues. And here at Rancho Del Mar, we have such a great, now especially that we have more people on board, and there's one in the back as well, which you'll meet in a second. We have so many people that are having contact with all of our students up on these different issues to help them, to guide them. And I'm seeing results already, and we're only, not even a quarter into the school year. As far as the counseling program here, my primary goal is to get a partnership with us and the parents and the students and the staff, because these factors foster academic, social, emotional, and behavioral progress for each and every student. An equally important goal is to provide an environment that supports cooperation and consistency, fosters a sense of community within the school, and facilitates open and honest communication. So this is why, and as Mr. Farrell was saying, I have an open door policy. So any student that wants to stop in and see me and talk about something, I tend to that's my priority. So it's closed door, let's go in and talk. I have a very open door policy. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. But I also want you to know as parents and guardians that my door is open to you as well. So again, that open door policy is for you. We definitely want to work as a team, and that's my goal. Now I'm just going to talk about some upcoming business kind of at hand, some things that we've done and some things that we're going to do. One of the things that we do every year, and some of you may be familiar with this, is our fall college tours. The college tours that we're going to be going on, it's pretty much every Tuesday in the month of October. We're going to go on this coming Tuesday to El Camino College. And then after that, Los Angeles Harbor College. And then the Tuesday after that, Marymount. We do take the week of Red Ribbon Week, which is October 22nd. We're not going on any college tours. We're focusing on that week, being Red Ribbon Week. But then the last Tuesday in October, we're going to be going to Otis. It's a College of Art and Design. We just did our first tour last year, and it is a fantastic place. I was fascinated. In fact, so much so that I don't even think I'm going to go. I think Mr. Farrell's going to go this year with our art teacher and take a group of students. It's fantastic. And we will also be visiting Cal State University Dominguez Hills. I haven't set a date for that, but we will be doing that as well. So that's upcoming. I want to talk about some post-secondary options. The post-secondary is very important. College and career planning, like Mr. Farrell was saying, not every student wants to go to college right away. So let's start looking at careers, interests, things like that, exploration. And they can do that in Naviance. So all of your students, I don't know if they're going to tell you they do, but they do. All students have an active Naviance account and should be accessing it. They are doing that here, sometimes in their homerooms, but if they're not doing it from home, you're welcome to mention, hey, why don't you log into Naviance? We actually went in and changed everybody's username to make it a little bit more user-friendly for them. And their passwords, again, more user-friendly. They might have changed the password. They can't change the username, but they can change the password. So there's a lot of career exploration. There's a lot of interest assessments and career exploration opportunities within Naviance. You're welcome to log in with your students and check it out. One of the things that we just did, speaking of college and career information, we just had a presentation. Some of you might have heard about it. All the juniors and seniors, we all came in here, piled in here, set up tables, and we did the same college and career exploration presentation that they do at Peninsula High School. It takes over an hour, but they ran through some assessments and interest inventories to find out not only the things that they're good at, but the things that they like, and then possible careers in those areas. We also looked at going to college and getting a degree in certain areas, and how as the more they can the more they can further their education, the less chances there are to be unemployed and the more money they can earn, things like that. I mean, not that that's set for everybody, but we did look at a bunch of different factors and explored that I loved it, and I think they did too. A lot of them became a little hesitant to speak on that, but then afterwards, a lot of them were talking to the teachers and giving us feedback one-on-one on, yes, I've always been interested in that, and here's what I scored high in, and things like that. So that was fantastic. Also, Rancho Del Mar families and students are encouraged, and every year I strongly encourage all of you to, we don't have a full-blown college and career center here. The traditional high schools do, Peninsula and PV. You, Rancho Del Mar families and students, have access to both of those college career centers at any time. And when I say we, Ms. Maltese, goes through and posts all on the Rancho Del Mar. If you go under calendar, where's calendar? It's right over there somewhere, I believe. If you pan down. If you click on calendar, it will show you all of their college workshop nights. And they're both at Penn and PV, from the FAFSA to college applications to financial aid to everything. And they are fantastic. I go to those because they're so informative and good. And that is sponsored by Peninsula Education Foundation. So please access those. If you have any questions, first go on the calendar. And you don't need a special permission form. You can go in and just listen. You can go with or without your students. It's up to you. And also in the principal's update, there's a counselor section. If you pan it all the way down at the bottom, you'll see. And we try and put some of that information in there, as well as upcoming events, areas of interest, articles of interest, things like that. So please check that out as well. Pan all the way down into the corner. And if you have any other inquiries, like I was saying, call me, set up an appointment, and we can talk about college and career options, and we can set up an appointment with your student and look at their transcript, go over it, and let's look at the various options and set a plan. I'm totally an advocate for that, and it shows that we're all kind of moving in that direction together as a team. Let's see, other ongoing programs that we have going, some of you are familiar with. We have Student in the Law. That's fantastic. We have that every Wednesday and Friday. Project EGO, that's for our seniors. It's exploring, EGO stands for Exploring Growth Opportunities. A lot of your students have already turned in their applications with me, and that will be starting on Tuesday. Those are Tuesday evening meetings twice a month. Again, it is for seniors, but it's a very detailed program that takes them through step by step what they're going to do after college. So even if you have a 10th grader or an 11th grader, I would look into that for your senior student when they become seniors. We also have, as Mr. Farrell was saying, SoCal Rock, fantastic program. We always have at least between 25 and 40% of our students attending SROC. It's a huge part of our program here. I frankly couldn't imagine us without it, because so many of our students utilize it. And then, of course, we have our new Cassie Counseling, which is already filling up. The kids are enthusiastic, they love Julia, and are really accessing that resource, which is so encouraging. We also have a community partnership with Thelma McMillan. So Nina, in the back over there, she is a representative from Thelma McMillan, and she is currently working with us on Mondays, running a drug and alcohol education class. And the goal for this class is not just to give a class and have some people sign up. Our goal is to have every single student pass through this class. It's about an 8 to 10 week class, and they get, it's not just an open group. They also are led by topic by Nina each week. I mean, you can probably talk more about that, but it's fantastic. And again, we want to raise awareness around this issue, increase education so that when our students and your children are facing these issues, they can have some more information to be able to make better choices and wise decisions. So, Nina, did you want to say a few words?
Sure, yeah, I'll come up and just introduce myself real fast. Hi. I'm Nina Halmouni, and I'm a counselor. I come from Thelma McMillan. I love working at Rancho because it is the only high school that actually has all of the kids go through my drug and alcohol education class. And it's so important because, I'm a substance abuse counselor, so every year I lose kids to drug and alcohol overdoses. And it's really painful. Often they're under the age of 18, and they're never meaning to end their life. They just make a mistake, And that one mistake that they make can be irreversible. So the kids are really receptive. It is drug and alcohol education only. They go through 10 weeks. And they're able to ask me any questions that they have that they're not comfortable asking their parents sometimes. And sometimes they want to get their information from their friends or their internet searches. And that's really dangerous because whatever they're searching for, they can find. So I love this program because they get to ask, all the questions that they want, and it's confidential for them. Like I said, I come from Thelma McMillan. We're an outpatient program. We provide outpatient services for teens and adults. And our teen program is actually really great. We have some really awesome kids there, and we also provide different services for the community. So if you have a teen that's under the age of 18, we offer free drug testing for you guys. So no cost consultations, no cost drug testing. So if you ever want to make an appointment, you can always make one with me, and I'll be around today to talk to you guys if you have any other questions. And if you're wondering about what your kids are learning about, please come see me, and I'm happy to talk to anyone here. So that's about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everyone. Once again, I appreciate you coming this evening. If you haven't signed in, please do. Once again, I double counted. There's a few people that haven't. Please grab some cookies and coffee, and then we'll get started with the actual back-to-school function of this all. One last thing before all of you go, and I would be remiss if I didn't, especially since I think we're live right now, donate to PEF if you haven't. I probably wouldn't have a job here tomorrow, and I almost forgot, but how could I? PEF is also an instrumental in every facet of what we do here. Their donation alone supersedes almost everything else we get in terms of funding by a lot. So this year we're actually taking our PEF donation and we're taking the whole entire school to a team building trust activity day at UC Irvine, which is gonna be super cool, and the kids are gonna love it. It's at the end of October. PEF's donation is paying for the whole entire thing. Buses, lunch, the admission, substitutes, everything. So if you haven't, please do. If you haven't thought about it, please consider. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Okay. Please listen for the bells. Ms. Gill will be telling you when to go.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody, if you look at the schedule, our